Bread and pastry production for grade 7 and 8. Our topic is Practice Occupational Health and Safety Procedures for week 8. The most essential learning competencies: identify hazards and risks, evaluate hazards and risks, control hazards and risks, and maintain occupational health and safety awareness. The purpose of this lesson is to apply the lesson into their real-life situation, to be able to be more independent in their daily living. Workplace hazards and risks are identified and clearly explained. Hazards and risks and their corresponding indicators are identified in line with company procedures, and the contingency measures are recognized and established in accordance with organizational procedures. Hazards and risks. Hazards and risks exchangeably react each other. A hazard is an agent which has the possibility to cause harm or danger to a vulnerable target, yet it can be both natural or human cause. Likewise, risk is the chance that a person will be harmed or experience an adverse health effect if exposed to a hazard. So something bad or unpleasant happens, such as injury or a loss of life, when taken for granted. In this lesson, the concept on identifying critically hazards and risks will be thoroughly demonstrated, and prior knowledge will basically contribute much, and the techniques, skills in doing activities as such. Extra care and positive values are needed as we undergo or performing things. Definition of terms. Risk. It is a chance, high or low, that any hazard will actually cause somebody harm. Workplace. It is a place where people work. Injury. It is a damage or harm of the structure or function of the body caused by an outside force, which may be physical or chemical. PPE or personal protective equipment. It is a protective clothing, hairnet, face mask, gloves, or other suits or equipment designed to protect the person's body free from infection or injury. Quality standard. It is a set of exact specifications to become a source of action. Sanitation. It is the practice or way to create a place that promotes good health. Physiological. It is relating to a way in which bodily part functions. Psychological. It is relating to the mental and emotional condition of a person. Stress. It is the body's way of responding to any kind of demand. The following are the types of workplace hazards. Number 1, safety hazards. It is the unsafe working condition that can cause injury, illness, and death. Example of these are anything that can cause spills or trips, such as cord running across the floor or ice, has lacking and insufficient machine locks, unsafe workplace situations, and unsafe work practices. Number 2 is the biological hazards. Biological hazards are biological substances that pose a threat to the health of living organisms. It is also caused by organisms such as viruses, bacteria, fungi, and parasites. Number 3, chemical hazards. Chemical hazards are solid, liquid, vapor, or gaseous materials, dust or fume substance that has the potential to cause harm to life or health. Chemicals are widely used in home and in many other places. Exposure to chemicals can cause acute or long-term detrimental health effects. Number 4 is the ergonomic hazards. It is an anatomical, physiological, and psychological demands on the worker, such as repetitive and strong movements, vibrations, high temperatures, and incorrect posture arising from improper work techniques and improperly designed working areas and tools. Number 5 is the physical hazards. It has something to do with noise, vibration, energy, weather, electricity, radiation, and pressure. Number 6 is the psychological hazards, those that are mainly causing stress to our worker. This kind of hazard extremely bothers an individual, which affects his health or well-being. This table shows hazards in the workplace, hazard example, and the harm that can cause to a people. For the object or thing, example of this is the paring knife, which can cause cut or wound. For the source of energy, example, electricity, which can cause electric shock. And for the condition, for example, wet floor, which can cause slips or falls. And for the substance, benzene, which is widely used in industrial chemical, which can cause leukemia. Risk is the possibility of something bad happening. It may also apply to situations with property or equipment loss. For example, having a vacation in the place during a war. The following are the factors that influence the level of risk. Number 1, exposure to any hazardous situation. Number 2, exposure to pollution. And number 3, serious effects on the state of exposure. The table shows the hazards, the risks, and the safety measures or actions to be taken. Number 1, manual handling of hand tools such as knives, mortar and pestle, and electric mixer, which has the risk of back injury, repetitive strain. Remind and teach workers of correct carrying and lifting process. Number 2, incorrectly carrying and lifting heavy things, which can cause back injury, repetitive strain. Remind and teach workers of the correct way of the correct lifting process and task rotations. Number 3, repetitive movements, bending, and awkward working position, which can cause back or limb injury and repetitive strain. Remind and teach workers to correct the way of lifting process and task rotations. And number 4, trip hazards, which can cause injury. Let the workers know and take away trip hazards before starting to work. What is an adverse health effect? A general definition of adverse health effect is any change in body function or the structures of cells that are lead to disease or health problems. Here are the following adverse health effects: physical injury, disease, decrease in lifespan, effects on children, grandchildren, inheritable genetic effects, effects on the ability the body functions, growth or development, effects on the developing fetus, teratogenic effects, disturbs the development of the fetus, fetotoxic effects, poisonous effect to the fetus. Day 2, Development. Learning task number 2. Directions. Fill in the blanks with word or group of words to complete the sentence. Day 3, Engagement. Learning task number 3. Directions. Fill in the blanks with word or group of words to complete the sentence. Day 4, Assimilation. Learning task number 4. Direction. Match column A with the correct description in column B. Day 5, Assessment. Learning task number 5. Direction. Write some of your insights by completing the following sentences. Reflections. The learners in their notebook, journal, or portfolio will write their personal insight about the lesson using the prompts below. First, I understand that, and second, I realize that. This is Maylene Huliganga. Thank you for watching.